Okay, in this video I'm going to do something called a Titan Takedown, which is a competition that Dan Torres and Ryan have put together on our groups. And basically we're pitting two different creatures together at any one time, and Ryan's going to put together mechanics to see who wins the battle, and Dan's rendering it. So I've put together my first one, which is a humongous mecha scorpion, and this is me and my 30-minute challenge. I gave myself a 30-minute deadline to make it, and then I handed it over to Dan to pit it in round one of blue versus red in the Titan Takedown. So watch me do it and see how I did. Okay, I've got 30 minutes to make a mecha scorpion for this challenge. I've got my blue tip on because I'm blue team in this particular challenge. Just need to move this camera a tiny bit because it's rocking. So there's 10 seconds wasted. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a technique called triplanar, and I'm going to adjust this. And I use this not that often, but I use it when I just need to make a shape. And I'm going to go really high resolution. I'm going to clear the mask, and now I've got a shape in there which I don't want. And now I've got this. So what I was about to say is I use this when I've got something that I want to design and I need a shape, and I can just quickly bash out using the mask tool. So you'll see what I mean in a moment if you haven't seen this. Turn symmetry off. In ZBrush, this used to be called shadow box, and it's not something I use a lot anymore in ZBrush because it's quite an old-fashioned way of sculpting. There's plenty more tools that you can use instead of using this in ZBrush. So obviously we're in Nomad here, but I find it super useful just to get this shape out, and it's, you know, I'm not going to stop using it if it works really well for me. So so all I'm doing now is I'm just doing a shape from the side. If you look round, you can see it's making me some geometry there. I'll just snap it to the side again. So I'm now just colouring it all in, and it might leave a few holes and a few gaps and one thing and another, but I'm not massively bothered as long as it gives me the shape that I want. And I want it to come up round here because I'm going to use this just as a reference. It's basically going to be deleted at some point, but it will get me most of the way for the initial shape. So if I want a scorpion like this, that, believe it or not, would probably do it. And you can see there it's given me from obviously it's only given it from one angle, but if I then think about it from this angle, and I can put symmetry on now. So put symmetry on this side, and if I just do it like this, so that's the carapace, and I want the tail to go up there, so it's now projecting from two angles. So I should get, in theory, roughly the shape that I want, and I have. There you go. And that's all I do. I just do that, validate it, and then just use the move tool. Now, you can use lots of different tools other than this. You could start with a sphere, you could start with the primitives like I do with a lot of my other character work. But I just find that useful just to get that initial shape out, especially with something like this where I know roughly what a scorpion body looks like. It's obviously not a scorpion because it's going to be a mecha. Let's go with a roughness quite low, metalness quite high, force paint it. Now we're working straight onto metal, and let's go in and let's what do we want to do? We want to, it's already 75,000 polygons, so let's make it quite high. And the reason I've made it high is because I'm going to start trimming it straight away. Well, I'm going to start flattening first of all and smoothing, and then from there I'm going to literally start clipping it out and you know, taking stuff away from the shape. What do I mean by that? So if I go into trim and then use the lasso tool, you'll see what I mean. I'm just trimming away the shapes now. Might take a minute for some of these because it's about 4 million polygons, which is probably too high for what we want to do here. In fact, I will go down a little bit. Take it. Oh no, I can't because I've already trimmed it. So actually, I'll take that back one, then go down, 1 resolution, so we'll keep it down to 1,000,000 there, and now we'll start trimming it. So we're down to 25 minutes already, so I think I might just start literally diving straight in on the individual parts of this. We'll do the body first of all. So let's just get this trim done. So trim, and we want rectangle, and we want snap. So I'll just start trimming it away, and we'll start seeing what sort of shapes come out. I'm going to use the ellipse. I'm going to just literally trying to get some good shapes. Symmetry's on. You can see it's giving me some oddness, which I don't mind. Let's try and get a little bit out of the back there. Let's try and get some of these looking good. And they may not look brilliant at this stage, but as I say, I'm not overly bothered because of what we're about to do, which is, you know, we're going to trim a lot of this away. I'm going to use the line tool. Obviously not going to trim away the entire thing like that, which is not at all what I was trying to do. And you'll see there now I'm trimming away now. It's going to go too far through the mesh, that is, so it's not what we want. So I'll use the rectangle tool like so, and then I'll use the lasso tool again to get some shapes down here. Just trying to get some curves going. Again, remember, I'm not going to use a lot of this. So that looks good. Let's just make some interesting divots out of here. A lot of what I'm doing here will just give me some visual interest as we start to develop the creature. Still not happy with that, actually. Let's just try and snap it this way. Down to 23 minutes already. Let me try the polygon tool, might be what I want. So if you tap the polygon tool like this, you get straight edges, and then you can add more points. So there we go. This is what I was after. So this is more of an angular cut, like so, and I find that quite useful. So that should clear out exactly as I wanted it to. Should give me a nice flat top on the top of the creature, which it has done. So still a divot there, which I'm not happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a primitive. So we'll add this primitive, and we'll give it the same sort of color. So we'll force paint it, and then we'll bring it down, bring it like this, and that will become. If I use the move tool now, so validate it, and then move tool. I need that grid out of the way, don't I? So I can't get rid of the grid because what I'm thinking of doing with the grid, I've just turned it off by mistake. So what I'm thinking of doing with the grid is obviously it helps me to line up the feet. So I really don't want to get rid of it. So height, take it down a tiny bit. And then colour of the grid, we'll make it a darker grey. So it's there, but hardly visible. And then we want the move tool with this sphere. And I want to just get some nice fluid shapes going into that body that we made. It'll give me should give me some interesting visual shapes when I start removing out of it. So I'm going to do that next. So I'm going to use snap, perspective off, and then snap, and then we're going to use SEL mask. I'm going to start masking off now. So we'll use rectangle first of all. So it's not high enough res, we know that, so should have done that straight away. We're down to 21 minutes. So we'll take that up to 1.5 million and see what this. So that's a much nicer mask now. You can see the mask is much cleaner. So we'll do some lines up the front. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to put the eyes in. Again, what do I mean by that? So I'm going to use the ellipse. I'm going to put some using unmask, and now you can see I've got shapes for where the eyes are going to go, which looks pretty good. I'll put couple of shapes at the side here. In fact, no, that needs to be in there. And then, no, I want it gone at the edge like that. And that's given me this kind of look down the sides. It's given me some nice shapes there already, so I'm quite happy with that. And the reason we've done that is because I want to extract it off. So I want shell thickness is about right, and extract, that should do it. And then from that extract, I will make that darker, and then I'll force paint that. So there we go, we've got a nice, it's almost like a cage around the shape that I've made. So we want some eyes, sphere. Let's get this glow, like not glowing, but let's get it metallic. Bring the reflection right up, and then force paint that. And what we're going to do is just going to pop these eyes in for now, and then I'm going to duplicate them across, and then just group them all in. So let's get, you know, one side done, and then we'll take it from there. So pop that one in and bury it right in the body, and then we'll leave this open. We'll pin this open. Oops, didn't copy it, did it? So duplicate, move that one along. It's too low, so bring it up. Duplicate it down to 19 minutes. These 30-minute challenges don't half push you, because you know, you've obviously, there's no point in doing them if you just end up making rubbish. So you've got, you know, you've got to be thinking that you want to make something worthwhile, but you do have to make some compromises because of the speed that you're going to go at. And this is just as a reminder, there's a challenge called the Titan Takedown, done by Dan Torres on our groups, and I'll put the details in the link down below. And you can just join in. You can just drop him an email, and you can throw in any creature design that you want, and he will challenge it against another design that someone does. So, and then obviously the winner will go forward to see if it can get in a further challenge. So have a look at our Facebook groups from the link down below, and if you need to, just drop Dan a little link. Let's just drop down a little email or DM. Let's put all of them spheres and we'll simple merge them together, and then we'll go up to mirror. We'll check that the mirror is in the center of the world, so world center, and then we'll right to left flip, and there you go. There's your mirroring, done and dusted. So now what we want to do is, I think I can use this and duplicate that, and I can use that for the tail. So if I shrink it down this way, and that's like a metal cage that we can now use as, oops, didn't turn off my, there we go, didn't turn off that. So let's have a look what that looks like without this on. So we don't now want the outline on. I want to see what it looks like. Let's bring that in a bit because it's a bit too wide. And there we go, we've got a really nice cage that's going to surround the tail. And I'm going to duplicate that and just use it. It should give us a ton of visual interest. So let's just duplicate it and see what happens. I'll shrink that one down and rotate it. And what I'm hoping is this light can really pass through this cage. And it'll, you know, it should really make an interesting, I don't know, I mean, it might be a rubbish, but I'm hoping it gives me a really interesting look. And not just a very standard kind of scorpion, you know, real world scorpion look. I wanted something that's very metallic. I'm down to 16 minutes, so I'm almost halfway there now, so I don't have a lot of time left. Let's bring that along. I'm liking that. Duplicate it. There we go. It should look good because it's got that nice flick at the back of it that looks almost like a shark fin, like a dorsal fin at the back, which I hadn't anticipated, but happy accidents are always the good ones, aren't they? So, and then we'll do the last couple as tiny, because we're going to want a spike at the end of this, like so. I'm just going to I'm going to risk a couple of seconds, and I'm going to save it, because I did do this and had a crash. So I'm just going to call it sculpt it's called, actually no, I'm going to call it what it is, because it's antebellum, which means before, can't even spell it. Antebellum, which means before the war. Antebellum. I've spelt it wrong. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it's saved. Wait till it saves. Please save, please save. That's the first time I've saved it, so it takes a minute, I found. And then one more, and then that's going to be where the sting goes. So that'll come round there. And I'll make a nice, in fact, no, I'm going to do the sting now. Let's not mess around. Let's take all of these meshes. This is where we need the outline back on. Just to make sure I've got all the right parts stuck together. Is that all of them? Yep, they're all together. So we'll simple merge them. Oops, what's happened there? We seem to have missed one. Now what we will do is we'll change the pivot point so that we've got the ability to rotate this tail around. We'll take this part and we'll trim it off. So trim. In fact, no, we won't trim it. We'll split it off like so. And then that part we will attach to that part. So that means we've got to have it all as one large chunk of tail, so we can rotate the tail. And we'll change the pivot now so that it sits here. And we'll turn that outline off for a moment. And there we go. We've got a pivoting tail that might help us as we get further down the line. So let's add we need a stinger, don't we? So we'll add a sphere and we'll change it to dark blue, grey blue, and force paint it and bring it up. Scale it down, validate it, and we need to use the move tool. And we've got to make a stinger now, so we'll just bring it out like so, like a crazy shape. Bring the intensity down and brush right up, and we'll bring it right up like this. And there we go, we've got one crazy spike. And that's all that I wanted, is something as cool as that. So we'll bring that up here, and we'll bring it like that. And that one should really attach to that one. Let's just try outline again. I do like to switch this on and off. Yep, that's working perfectly, and we'll just simple merge them. So just do a quick save. Perfect. Did I save it then? Save. I really don't have time to be saving this. Cool. So I've got, I only need to make one leg because we are going to duplicate that. So I need 6 core legs and then 2 big pincer mandibles. So we can use the leg to repeat on that. So we're going to use some of these new tools. So we're going to use a cylinder. Let's bring it over to the side. Over here, and we want that cylinder to be a hole. So we've now got a tube, and we can use these widgets, interactive widgets. Let's change the color on that one, force paint it. We can then duplicate it. I think I didn't validate it, did I? And then scale it down like so, and then scale it up. I'm going to use these over and over again. So we will take both of them and we'll merge them. Simple merge is all we need. Now this is from the top, so it's going to be on the side, but I'll have a look at that in a minute. So that's the first one, and it's obviously it's way too big. One joint, 2 joints. You'll see exactly what I'm doing in a moment. In fact, we need one more, 3 joints, and make that a lot smaller, like so. And then what we want to do is just use a cylinder. We want to rotate it. I want to scale it down a little bit that way, and then scale it up, and then force paint it. And then I need to rotate it 90 degrees around X, I think it is. So I'm going to rotate on red by 90, like so. hopefully that works, which it did. And now we'll bring that down around here. Now we've got to fit it between all of these joints. So it's still not validated, so I've still got loads of scope. In fact, I'll validate it now. Could have changed it a lot, but again, I'm running out of time massively here. So I've done the first one, done the second one, and actually just a bit of move tool on that one will be cool, I think. So what we'll do is this, and we'll bring it round and get a really nice shape going. And a shape under here, and that one, I'll bring it down that way. That one's nice, and then we'll duplicate that, and we'll use that one again. And let's use this, and we'll rotate it like so, and scale it down. And then move tool again. Move it around here. It's not in the right place. I didn't even know. You can tell I'm rushing because I'm getting stuff all in the wrong place, but really not a problem. Like so, and then I'm going to use, and that'll probably do me actually. So I'm going to take this tube, and I'm going to use the move tool for this one. And just bring this down like this, and this one down like this, and there we go. That'll do me completely for the shape of the leg, and I will actually just merge all that together. So let's just get all these together, and we just need a simple merge again. We don't need anything complex. And now we need the tube, one of our favorites, and we'll go curve, and we'll do my old favorite one of adding pipes to everything. So I use this in Gravity Sketch a lot. Let's make this dark, force paint all, and validate it, and that's pretty much all I do for piping. And it adds, I've done it on both sides, so we do need to trim that off because that's not needed. I'll save it first because I seem to be crashing a little bit with 3, 2, 1 as it saved. Got a couple more minutes, so I'm just going to bang these legs on, and then I want to put some claws on, and then that's me done. Is that saved? Just taking a minute. There we go. So let's trim that away and get rid of symmetry, trim it away. And then these two, just merge them like so. Oops. Like so, and then this entire leg now can be scaled down, and this is where I needed the floor, and I'll do him into the body, pop him in there, which looks good enough. I might actually work this up a bit more once I've finished it, because this is actually quite a nice little design. You know, when you're working on something and you're enjoying it, I think this could be something that I could really make a nice design out of. Snap it to the side there so we can see what's on the floor and what isn't, because I want it all on the floor. And then the last leg, duplicate it and then rotate it around, and there you go, there's the 6 legs. So we've got to go in now. In fact, that needs to be further back. All of them need to be further back because I've got to make room for the big monstrous claws at the front, haven't I? So bring them over there. So that's cool. Now what we will do, we'll cheat again here because I haven't got time to make the mandible fully. So I'm going to use the leg as the arm like that. And what that means is all I have to do now is make a huge claw. So again, just cheating with the shapes, but I don't care. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror each one. When Dan puts these together in the world origin and mirror right to left, yes. when he puts them together in the scene with the one I'm fighting with, then he'll move these around and he'll pose these. So right to left, yes. Oops, no. We want to do that, and we want to do right to left. So all I'm doing here, I'm just making sure that the world center is in the middle, and I'm doing a right to left mirror. And now here, before we do this, I just need to do a great big claw. So I need another sphere, and I need to force paint it, not black though, force paint it. And then I need to use the move tool, validate it, and then use the move tool. And then I'm making a giant claw here, don't need symmetry on. Oh my gosh, time is nearly over. Get this giant pincer going here, use the trim tool. So we'll drop some little shapes in here. There we go. And then that should make something quite nice actually. So let's have a look at that from another angle. That'll be good. And let's duplicate it. Let's rotate this other one around the other way, and then shrink it down and bring it around this way, and then shrink it down even more. And that would do for our main claw, like so, I think. Yep, that looks good. So we'll simple merge those two, shrink them down, bring it out here. Now that claw should be close to the ground, I think. So let's make it like that, and then simple merge them. Didn't work before. There we go. And that definitely, snap it and bring it right down to the ground, I think. Yeah, like that. That will be cool. And then that one, just bring it down. Obviously this claw is part of that arm, so I've got to get some kind of visual link to it. Can't just be a tenuous link. So that one and that one need to be simple merged, and then we need our old faithful tool, which is the tube. And we'll go, we'll just draw it from here. So curve like so, shrink it down, dark black, force paint all, and then obviously it's way too high, so we're going to come around here, and we now can just bring it down into the places where we want it hanging down. Again, this just makes it much more robotic, because it's got cables. You know, anyone who knows my work, just, you know, it's just full of cables, because it's just so easy to hide stuff with cables. Probably overuse them now, I would have thought, but I don't care because I really like them. Let's get these under here. We've got to get it looking like it's hanging down. You know, real world physics always helps. It's nowhere near the right place yet, so let's bring it over here. There we go, that's good. Get these curves looking good at all angles. Down here. We've got it inside the claw there, and we don't need that, so we'll bring it down here. Like this. Down here. Bring it back to the middle and around inside. It shouldn't cause too many problems. And that's it. Validate it there, and that's it done. So let's have a look at that. Turn the outline off, and there we go. I'm quite happy with that already. So I'm going to mash them together. Oh, I've done it again with the tube, unfortunately. So what I've done is I've used both sides. So turn symmetry off and just trim it off at this side. Oh, why is it doing that? Let's have a look. So outline, we're on the right one. Symmetry off, trim is on. Gone, there we go. So we just need those two to be simple merged and then mirrored across. World origin, right to left, yes. There we go. Boom, and that's my, oh, how did that leg get over there? Quick. Get rid of it, so symmetry off. Even the police are arriving now, I don't know if you can hear that. And then we need to go to perspective, turn off our outline. Yep, that's cool. Let's put a plane in. So we'll go plane, make a massive plane, and I'm the blue team, aren't I? So I'm going to make a nice, in fact, no, let's do black. Let's get it completely black, and we'll have the roughness, let's have the reflection, so it'll pick the scene up, force paint all, scale it up a bit. Quite happy with that. Let's change the background to black. Reference image maybe, I don't know. No, I'm literally just shooting in the dark here now. Well, we'll go just with color instead. So completely black, no reference image. We don't need the floor on now, so we can lose the grid. And let's turn on some post-processing. So we want reflections, we want ambient occlusion, depth of field, bloom. Nah, should we have bloom? I don't know. Don't really like bloom. And let's try a little bit of curvature. So we'll make that blue, and we'll make that quite. We don't want it that dark, that light. So we'll turn that right down, and let's move the lighting scenario around and see what we can get. That looks good. And then maybe I can just bring this plane out a bit. Bear in mind, this is supposed to be huge, so I don't know whether even depth of field is something that I want. But there you go, that's within my 30 minutes, and we've got plenty more messing around to do. But the build that I wanted to do is done in the 30 minutes. So I'm going to hand this over to Dan, and hopefully I can show you the results, and I'll post the results in our Facebook groups. If you want to see this creature pitted against something else, then join our Facebook groups and you'll see all the other people doing the challenge as well. Thank you so much for looking at the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a thumbs up would help us get in front of other people. If you're liking this kind of thing, then subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so we can let you know when we're uploading new content. And don't forget, we've got plenty of other stuff over here, either in the main channel or things that are relevant to this video. So take a look at what we've put there and see if it's useful to you.